Sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football, for the Sharks are here.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Shinazzi. I'm an OG from 2015, and this is the PostGame live stream. Hopefully we are live and loud. Bit of tech stuff going on, but I think we're here. We're good. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So we've got lots of messages coming in. We'll pop them up on the screen. We'll talk about them. If you want to call in, please feel free to do so. And we will talk about this game and what it means and everything else. Sharks win 40-16 against the Newcastle Knights. And of course, the NRLW team won in Golden Point, which was super exciting too. So hopefully you were here or you watched that on your TV. But Sharks win in NRL 40-16 post-game. The kids and the big kids are out on the field having a great time. It was a beautiful sunny day here. And the Sharks, very slow start, has to be said, sluggish. Not sure if they wanted to be here or not, but they turned it around about 20 minutes in, never looked back. Certainly didn't really put the foot to the pedal too much, but got the job done. Steve Archer says, why are the 7 people in the field? It's, I think, last game of the year in theory. I feel like we're coming back. But last game in the regular season, Steve, I think they just let everyone on. Not sure if they let people know about it or not. There was a lot of people waiting, so maybe they did. Apologies for any lighting issues. It's a computer thing. Don't worry about it. We're here. We're good. I hope you're well, Steve. Dean says, solid win today. Fingers crossed the Storm beat the Broncos next week. Absolutely. Hoping to see Puru play a 5'8" throw when Trindle went off, although it seemed like Hines was the only playmaker. Now, if anyone can give me an update on Trindle, I was fearing the worst. That's what I do. But any news coming through, please let me know. And if we get any news, we will let you know as well. Okay, I'm just going to put a live. What am I doing here? Going to put a link in for everyone. Apologies. There is a link now for everyone to jump on and people on the Insta as well, hopefully. Oh, everyone's on the Insta as well. Mozzie Bites says, great finish to a season home. Crowd is in a good mood. Made it a lot more fun today. Absolutely, it did. So hello to everyone on the Insta. And Cody's saying, Fitz said it was his ankle. Brandy seemed to think he'll play next week. I mean, I guess next week's not really... Maybe it is vital. Who knows what's going on? Peter says Billy Burns was best on ground. He was certainly really good. I thought he was fantastic. I saw a try assist towards the end and a lot of effort, and he's really not letting us down in the slightest. I thought after the opening sluggish start, everyone was pretty good. Everyone was pretty on. But happy to talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I'm going to bring in a guest because I believe he's at the ground, which is where we are.
Mate, how are you?
Hello.
Mate, I am literally looking for you just to say hello, but I got you on screen anyway, but this will do. How are we, mate?
Good. How are you, sir? You're at the ground. Are you out on the field? Where are you?
I'm actually inside. Well, I was, but I'm on. So I am in the ET stand somewhere.
Okay, love it. Love it. What were your
I'm
thoughts on the
waving,
game,
but
Ash?
don't know where you are. What I
Oh,
thought.
let me drop
Sure.
back, see if I can see you. I don't think I can see
Okay.
that far. I apologize.
That's
What do you
okay.
think? Anyway, for the audio people,
Yeah.
they're going, stop it, guys. What did you make of the game?
Look, I'll give my honest thoughts. The first
Please.
half, like the opening quarter, was I actually thought personally. Sorry about the loud music, but
You're good.
I personally thought we were going to be up against Sutton today, but there was a few calls that I thought were a bit,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
like, yeah, but we got the win anyway, which is good. So that's all that matters. And top four is still in reach. So that's all that matters.
Now, everyone is telling me, Ash, as the siren goes
Yep.
off again, everyone, to a man or woman, every person I've come across, kid today, has told me we're finishing fourth because Bellamy will play everyone and Melbourne's going to win. I personally don't know if that's going to happen. I want to be wrong. I desperately want to finish fourth. And for us to finish fourth, obviously Melbourne have to win. You think Melbourne are a chance next week?
I don't know. Like, well, I would love Melbourne to win. Like, you know, we need Melbourne to do us a favour, even though we don't like Melbourne. But for the once in a lifetime, we need Melbourne to help us out because we really want top four. Like
We do.
Like we did in 2016, nobody gave us a chance in 2016, especially in the finals. But see how we go. If we finish top four and see how far we get, one game at a time, that's all that matters. Like,
Yes.
whether we, obviously, if we make it, which I don't think we will, but however far we get, give yourselves a pat on the back, boys. You know, you've had a long and tough season. You know, you travelled onto the other side of the world for the first game, then back, and you've been all over. So whatever happens, happens. But whoever takes it out, congratulations. But I personally think it definitely won't be us this year because we've had an up and down year. But wherever we finish, we're ready to see however far we get.
Okay. I can't speak for the other people who are on this podcast usually, but I personally definitely want to finish fourth. I want two
I do
bites.
too.
Yeah.
I want two bites too, mate. I would love fourth. Just seen Baldo from ET stand.
Oh, yeah. Give him a hello.
I did, yep. But anyway, but now the sun is starting to set over the beautiful Shark Park. If I can somewhere, I don't know how to turn the camera around, but that's all right. But no, it's been a really good day. I've enjoyed the game. It's been great.
It's been a great day for the Sharks. NRLW got up as well, so that was fantastic.
And before I go, I got to do the Guard of Honor. So thank you to the legends at membership for letting me do the Guard of Honor. Unreal experience.
Get any high fives in?
Yes, I did. I loved it. It was good. Most of the boys, which is good. Yeah, it was good. It was good. So yeah.
Excellent.
And even got to quickly say hello to Wade Graham Gallant and of course the Lord Mayor of the Shire, Mr. Mark Noakes, everyone's fan favourite, of course.
Excellent. Well, Ash,
so before I go, I'll quickly give my 3 2-on-1s. So my 3 points today, I'm actually going to go with a couple of people. So for me, to have a standout, I think Hiroti had an absolute standout. Who else? Everyone did. Everyone had an absolute killer. So everyone pretty much deserves a pat on the back for giving in 100% effort today. Like, even though we had the slow start, but we ran away with it. So overall, we did good. Be proud. Very proud performance in the end.
All right. Thanks, Ash. We'll let you go because you're about to get kicked out of the stadium, but I appreciate you jumping on. And if anyone else wants to jump on.
Yep. Thank you, Sam. A pleasure as always. And thank you, mate. Cheers. Bye.
See you. Take care. Bye-bye. That was Ash from just down there. I'm upstairs. He's downstairs. What a world we live in. Now, some more of these great comments from you lovely people. Okay. Jesse says Billy and Siffer were red hot. He also says our best bench rotation we've had all year. So let's look at that. Who did we have? We had Hohepa Puru, Sifa Talakai, Tom Hazelton, and BHU. Pretty good. Pretty good size, good skill. Hamlin, well, he was great. We'll go through all the players. But yeah, it's good bench, Jesse. John says Billy Burns best on ground, most consistent. So he's doing a great job, isn't he? He's re-signed, which is fantastic. Scott says it looks like we'll either play the Roosters, Penrith, or Canberra week 1 of the finals. Thank you for that update, Scott. So that means Roosters or Penrith will be here, or Canberra down in Canberra. I'd love to know what you all want to do. Do you want to go down in week 1 and be the underdogs and try and shake the world? Or do you want to play in the comforts of this beautiful stadium and have all the things that we would normally have for a home game? Do you want to have that? We will be playing here. I think there's no doubt in saying that. I don't think they move it to the SFS or whatever it's called. So what do you guys and girls want to do? Tell me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. There's no wrong answer. It's your thoughts. Ryan says, let's be real. Nothing in that game says we'll threaten the top team. So appreciate that, Ryan. I had that thought throughout the game at moments, and then other moments I thought they're doing enough against a really average team, and they blew out the score in the end, played some good footy, defended pretty good. Like I don't know what we expect to see, Ryan. Like I'm sure a 10 out of 10 game would have been awesome, but I don't know. Trinder went off halfway. I think it was an okay performance, an okay enough performance. But I completely appreciate what you're saying. We're gonna have to step up. I agree with you there. We're gonna have to step up and be better. But they're doing what they need to do now to get in the right position. I like that. Steve says we're finishing 4th and going to Canberra to win. I like that. And then Jesse's urging me to look at Tommy's numbers. Yeah, I see that. What do we got? Is it 136 meters? Yeah. Great stuff from tall Tom Hazelton. Cody saying Canberra. Jesse saying Canberra. Let's play there. John saying prefer to play the Raiders. Loading Thunder says, sorry, late joining. What's the general response? Loading Thunder, the good news for you is we've only been on for 13 minutes. I had a bunch of stuff to do post-game, and there was some tech stuff. And so I'd love to hear from you and what your general response is. Some people are saying we should have done more. Some people are pretty happy with what we're doing. I think we're all looking ahead, which is great. Hello to Roy. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to jump over to the Insta. And Jay says, Talakai only played 30 minutes. That worries me. We need more minutes from him. The bench was very good in turning the match. He also says, in regards to Trindle, we know if we can finish top 4 late Thursday night after the Broncos versus Storm. Bellamy hinted at not resting players after the other game. Thank God. Thank God. Let's go win, Melbourne. Come on, let's go win. Shout out to Riley Pollard, our future halfback. Terry Mortimer's on board. Look out. Jay also says that the Broncos win Thursday night. Atkinson plays Saturday against the Dogs. Now, Nikki is in the house. I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her, but Nikki is in the house. Hello, Nikki. Great win by the women's today. Absolutely. Jersey Flag get the double chance, finishing second after winning today. And they play the Raiders next week. Hello to our friend Claudia. Hello to everyone. You're all our friends. And this is awesome. Sharks win 40 points to 16. Now, Ryan has come back to us with chat about his issues. We keep seeing the same problems every week. Fitz leaving Toby on for too long. Slow start, switching off at times. Sideways attack. Talakai underutilized. Same issues. Win against one of the worst team in years. Masks a little. I will give you that. They are one of the worst teams around, unfortunately, and they showed a lot of heart in the opening 20 minutes. And I was a little bit concerned. I thought one more try to make it 14-16-0 would have been a bit troublesome, but didn't get to that, which is great. But I hear what you're saying, Ryan. I don't know if I agree with all of that. Like, I thought Toby was good today. Definitely slow starts. Switching off, I thought it was fine today after they switched on. Sideways attack, don't know about that. Talakai underutilized. Maybe they're resting him. I don't think the underutilized Talakai thing is a problem because we won by 24 points and he's just ready to go. Wind him up, ready to go when needed. So, but I do appreciate all that. Now, Roy says, any news on the Trindle's ankle? No news officially. People are saying from the coverage that it's not too bad. He may play next week. It's nothing too serious at the moment, thankfully. So wait and see on that. We might have more news throughout the show. And Jesse says, I believe Siffer will start in 13 after that performance. I thought that, let's hear your thoughts on Jesse Colquhoun. I thought he was pretty good. Big body, hard to handle, can pass around, offloading. Loading Thunder says, I can't shake the Sharkies' pessimism. I feel they've got to do a lot better, but a win's a win. I feel like they start better against stronger teams, but that might be a recency bias. I think if you said to me today that, hey, Shinazzi, the Sharks started slow and they took them easy and all that sort of thing, I would completely agree with you. I don't always agree with that kind of mentality, but it looked like today they didn't really want to put in the effort for the opening 15-20. I know it's a general statement. I'm not putting the boot in, but I just thought that Newcastle were more up for it the opening 15-20, and that was evident in the score. But they turned it around, the Sharks, to be fair. Jesse's saying scans for Trindle on Monday. So, you know, at the very worst, you don't play him and have him ready for the finals. So we do want to win, though. And the other thing is we're not sure what the Bulldogs are going to offer up. They may offer up a B-grade team. They might want to just go full pelt. I've got no idea. Who knows how these coaches think, but I am feeling better as the day goes on about Bellamy not resting players. Everyone keeps telling me he's not going to. So I feel better about that because I think they are a chance in Brisbane if they can play a competitive team against the Broncos. The Broncos are pretty good. They score a lot of points, but I don't think that they can match Melbourne necessarily. So sorry about the lighting here. It's on and off, but I think we're going good. Now, what else is happening over here? Jay wants a double chance against the Raiders. Yeah, I completely agree. Hello, Nikki again. Oh, Gary Dover's best half has joined us. Beck's online, or it could be the kids. I'm going to say it's Beck. Lynn has said we wouldn't have any of these discussions if we'd beaten the Dragons like we should have. Just my thoughts. No, completely agree. It's never okay to lose a derby, Lynn, and never okay when you're trying to get where we're trying to get. And I completely agree. There's a whole bunch of games, unfortunately, now we can include in that Dragons game, but absolutely, most recently, it's the one blemish in the win-loss column. Jay says, I thought Jesse C was okay today, but in finals, when games are tighter, I wonder we're bad at having Talakai start there. Yeah, interesting. Bowling is on board watching from Hawaii, I think he's in. Josh Bowling went to Hawaii for the week. Now, Sharks win 40 points to 16. Is there another game on? I don't even know what's happening. Dolphins versus someone. Lee says, slow to get into gear after the bye, but a big win. Keen for the Raiders. Absolutely. It's a good point, actually, after the bye. Not that there's an excuse or a reason, or probably a reason. That might be something. NRL SC Merseyside Reds, one of the great names in this world, said, poor start, but well done to get the boys. And well done to the boys and girls for turning things around. Melbourne getting embarrassed the second half was good for our chances of them not resting players. Shame it's not in our hands, but let's go. Let's go indeed, my friend. Jesse with the score update. Dolphins versus Titans. Dolphins 18-0. Okay. Thank you for that. Don't know if they're still fighting for anything, but in the words of John Cena, never give up. Great day at Shark Stadium. sunny, beautiful, big crowd. A couple of friends from Melbourne in the house. That was fun seeing those guys. Maybe catch up with them later. But Members Day, important day in the scheme of things for the club and for the fans. And everything I saw out there was pretty good, pretty fun. Lots of things for fans to do if you were selected, of course. And they've done a good job of getting the fans out of here too. Very, very quick to do that. Loading Thunder is referring to Lynn's comment saying, good call, Dragons game. If you didn't have that miserable performance, I probably feel a lot better about today. Yep, that's fair enough. BJK says he's hoping Tricky is okay despite a slow start to the season. Ronnie is finding the try line. Man, Ronaldo was unbelievable. I mean, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? You got a hat trick. You ran for almost 200 meters. Fantastic. I thought Katoa was really great too, actually. KL was back. I thought it was very positive, the outside backs. I thought our boy Will Kennedy was a slow start, but he found his feet, thankfully. Part of that hectic try that went the whole way he started it, and I think he finished it. Now, another person with a fantastic name. Maybe it's a challenge for people to spice up their names. Like, don't just put SharkCast or Sam Shinazzi or Gary Dover. Put Grunge Meister Fuzz. First 20, very flat. I'm just kidding about the names. Don't worry about me. I'm high on Pepsi Max. They did what they had to do for the win. A late night's try might be a clue for the final. The rival finals coaches plan to cut through the Sharks. Dogs match is a good test before finals. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm hoping, though, in the finals, there's no switching off, so I don't want that to be the case. We've got a guest coming in now all the way from Queensland, I believe. And it is our friend Josh. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Good, Sammy. How are you, mate?
Good. What's going on? I did I run into one of your friends today at the ground? I think I did. Anyway, it's another story.
Not sure. Could be.
How are you? What did you make of the game?
Yeah, I've only just tuned in, so sorry if I spoke from a few things that have already been done, but yeah,
All good.
slow start, obviously. But got what we needed to get done in the end. Bench made a huge difference. They looked really good. Best BA shoes looked, I thought. Made a big difference in that second half, towards the end of that first half and early in the second. All three of the forwards that came on like that. Bummer to see Trindle go down. Hopefully it's not too serious.
Yeah.
I thought before that he was looking busy. He was looking pretty sharp. Like Hines' game, Brayley. After that first 20, it was a pretty good all-round performance. I'll be happy if I never see Sione throw a pass or maybe even throw a dummy. He might be on like you put the props and forwards on kicking ban. He might be on a passing ban for me.
Fair enough.
It makes me nervous. Just when he looks to pass or when he passes inside of our 20.
He tends to do the big kind of lift ahead when he passes too.
Yeah, and I think it's when it's winger to winger, it just makes me even nervous. Yeah, when it's winger to winger, it makes me even more nervous.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's the worst of it. It's good.
Yeah. Who was your best out there?
I'm very biased towards Siffer these days. I know it was off the bench and everything, but he's just a totally different player. Just as in just the body shape and what he does through the middle there. Every time he touches it, he's always affecting it. It's, I really like what he did. I thought Nico was really good. Couple of nice try assists, especially that one to Siffer, where we'd gone wide a few times, and the Knights were just constantly looking for that out the back ball. And yeah, Nico summed that up really well and threw it short to Siffer, which was the perfect play at the perfect time, just before half time. So hard to go past that too. Those two for me.
Yeah, so our friend Liam says, imagine what we could have done if we played for 80, so slow start. And our other friend Ghastly10 says, how's the second half? Didn't get to catch it, but 40-16 tells me it was at least good. Now, I'll tell Ghastly10 that the opening stanza of the second half was pretty back and forth, a bit dull on our point of view. But again, we found our rhythm. they didn't score, so it was all us. But it was more the last 20 that we really clicked, I thought, as well. But second half was fine. Like it was consistent. It was solid. I think the coaches might have liked the kind of completed sets, kicking, that kind of thing, getting in the rhythm. So how would you describe the second half, Josh, for Ghastly 10?
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that. It was kind of, back and forth that first 10 or 15 maybe. I think we pinched a try in that period. But we just ran over the top of them in the end. It was good that we didn't just expect it when we came out of the second half, just to expect the second half to start like the first half ended. We earned the right to play some footy, and that off the back of that and hard work early in the second half, the points came in the end.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to bring in our friend Gary Dover. He's here for a short stint. We're on the angle here because of the lighting.
Hello, everybody.
That's Josh. You've met Josh.
Gary.
How are you?
Are you right?
Gary, any news from downstairs? Any news on the ankle for starters?
No, I asked Tricky if he was all right, and he said he was fine. So
Did he?
yeah,
Okay.
What happened there, but it didn't seem too fast.
That's good. And anything else you can report, whether it was from the coach or anything else going down, the vibe, the mood?
Oh, they just all know, it's a bit out of their control, but there's an opportunity there to do some stuff in the back end of the year if we can get it all right. So we've got to put it all together and then, make a run. But everyone's pretty upbeat and looking forward to the back end of the year and the final series.
And what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I mean, 40-16, you can't complain. Second half was definitely a bit better than the first half. I thought we started really slow. And then when Tricky went off there, I thought we were in a bit of trouble, but I thought Pep did a really good job and we held ourselves together, completed our sets and just, got through the game unscathed and, with some points on the board, which was good.
Now, while I have these two great minds together, Josh and Gary, let's play hypothetical. It's a negative hypothetical, and it's not going to happen. But let's just say that they need to also use the word rest. They're going to rest Trindle, so he's fresh for round one of the finals. Just a bit of a game. This is how I get off. You know that. I get my kicks, whatever the word is. Who plays 6 for you, Josh, next week?
Okay. I think he's probably, without actually being at training and whatnot, obviously, but surely he's worked with the group the most in that position this season in case something like this does pop up. So,
Hohep, are you saying?
Okay.
No, Acco.
Sorry, apologies.
Atkinson.
Acco.
Yeah.
Got you.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Gary Dover, what would you do?
I'd do the same.
You would?
Yeah. I'd have that go there. Who would you do? Because it sounds like you're going something different.
No, I just need to have a think about it. But I like what Hohepa does out there, but it is more of a...
I like what Pep does, but it's a 14 role for me.
Yeah, it's a forward utility kind of thing.
half,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've given him the keys before, and he's done it on the big stage against big teams. So
there, he knows what he's doing. He knows all the plays.
now we're just playing hypotheticals. So by all accounts, at the moment, Trindle will play next week. What do you reckon, Gary, the Dogs are going to do? We're all talking about Melbourne. What are the Dogs going to do? Are they going to play players or not?
Surely not.
No?
I think they'd rest him. They look pretty beaten up the last few weeks. Burton's had a few little knee issues and things going on. They'd obviously want to rest guys like Critter and maybe Bronson and, just to freshen them up at the back end of the year. But I don't know. When was their last bye?
I don't know, but I don't know.
I feel like some of them need a break, and I feel like they'll give it to them now that the top four's locked in.
Okay, interesting. Do you think that'll be the same, Josh? Do you think?
I'd like it too, but I read earlier that Serraldo said he's not, unless there's a serious niggle with anyone, he wants to go into the finals full of steam and doesn't really want to rest players at this point. So,
okay,
may not get the luck we want.
No, but I think that we should go there to win, and we have every intention of winning, and there's no reason why we can't. The Bulldogs have had a great year, but they're not in pristine form. And
we'll know on Thursday, right, after the Broncos Storm game, what our chances are of top 4.
Well, that's another great point, Gary. This is why
it's all in our hands.
This is wy you're here briefly. Fitzy might just throw all the kids out of the cot.
So, we'll see what happens. But I think, if it gets to that point where Broncos lose on Thursday night and we're ready to go and it's all in our hands, we'll be up for the game and let's start the final series a week early.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Gary Dover, you got to get out of here.
I kind of don't want the dog.
A little bit if you want me to stay.
Oh, beautiful. Say again, Josh.
Yeah, I kind of don't want the Dogs to rest anyone. I want to see if we're ready. I want this test before the finals. And yeah, if we
like
come
it.
out on top of it, gives us a heap of confidence going into finals.
It does. It really does. Steve says he would pick Puru. Ghastly 10 says that the Dogs would rest people after seeing Carraz go down.
What, they lost Carraz?
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. Steve says they'll rest someone, we will win. Scott says, I like this. We should be confident in beating a full strength Dogs team rather than hope they rest everyone. I appreciate that, bro. Like I really do. And I have no problem with that. I'm someone who in recent past has said I'll do whatever it takes to get there, whether it's you're playing the under 18s or whoever. Like I don't really care as long as we're there doing good things. But absolutely, like good on you, Scott, for saying that. Like
if they trot out a full strength dog side, right, at a core, packed, NRLW double header, and you roll them down to Canberra for week 1, you're so full of confidence and ready to go. Knock them off, you get a week off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still maintain early in the season here, and admittedly the Dogs hadn't hit their peak, but they're on their way. We were in this game up to our eyeballs, and we took the foot off, and they steamrolled us, and they were the better team. But it wasn't like some sort of freak thing where we couldn't beat them. We just didn't in that second half, unfortunately. So I don't fear them. And to Scott's point, we shouldn't. We should just look to do the best. Ghastly says our listeners are all over it, man. Look at this. The last buy was in round 16. That was a while ago.
I've been going for a while.
Josh, what are you liking about the Sharks at the moment? What pleases you as a team?
I think I'll say his name a lot, but Nico's been. I think he's been adapting a lot lately. Well, like mid game. If things are working well, he keeps going to it. If things aren't working well, he's not afraid to go away from it and try something else. I think that's been something that's really good. Running with a bit of confidence. That's probably one thing. And we've seen. I like to see the unsociable Ronnie. That's always good to see. 3 tries today, and getting into everything. I always like seeing unsociable Ronnie, but we saw unfortunately with the dissent penalty later on. That's the other side of it, but. If we see more of the better unsociable Ronnie, I'm happy with that.
He was so good. That try him and Will did was just that had it ever up out of their seats, and we need him like that. We do. Let's not change him. We need him like that to get us across the line. Yeah. And I thought all the back 5 were pretty good. I thought Will was a bit slow to start, but once he got there, and back 5 were good.
What about KL?
I feel like
so long he just comes back. He doesn't miss a beat, does he?
He was tops. He ran for 140 meters, it looks like, and he should have had a try. I think his try streak's over, unfortunately. But what do you think of him, Josh?
Yeah, unlucky not to get that try, and he was really solid coming back after what was 6 weeks out. I think it was something around that.
Longer, maybe. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So it was really good to see him come back. Back on Ronnie, I don't think sometimes he gets enough credit for how well he reads a game. Just to hit that hole, to be thinking about hitting that hole off Newcastle turnover, and to know Will, or to hope that Will would throw him that pass. I think, just been a few times this season where I just think, I'm not saying it's a switch or anything, but I do think he'd make a good fullback. You're obviously not going to make that change, but I just think when he does bring himself into the middle as well, he reads the game really well.
I mean, if you're nervous about Sione passing the ball, I reckon you'd be nervous with Ronnie at fullback, Josh.
Yeah, more of his support play than his passing play.
Yeah, sure. It'd be pretty chaotic though. His mind, like all of us, tends to race in heated moments, and Ronnie's got a lot going on. And I bet you're right. You're right. Like people just see him as a loudmouth kind of fancy putter down of the ball, but what I saw out there today was incredible. Like a great effort. Like probably close to man of the match, right? Like just so good. Gary, how was the vibe out in the down on field level with the crowd and the players? Everything's cool.
It was good. It was really good, especially down here in this south corner.
Yes,
it's always good fun down there. So
yes,
it's going off. But obviously, when you score a few points, the crowd has a bit to celebrate. So
yeah, it was fun one here at Shark Stadium. And Josh, are you coming out of any finals games, or are you stuck in Queensland?
No. If week 1, if we don't happen to make the top 4, week 1, I'll be booking some flights and I'll be down there if we face the Roosters or the Panthers. Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Look forward to that.
Yeah. No, I can't. I can't
just-
make it to Canberra if it's a Friday night game, but I can
Mhm.
make the Saturday.
All right, just make sure you bring your gum boots because this place can flood at any point.
No,
Oh,
put
so
him in
yeah,
the house.
apparently.
Oh, yeah, there is one cubby house, but there's only fit 4 people in there. But boy, shots fired. Troy says Atco surely slides in if Tricky misses time. Yep, fair enough. And Ghastly 10 didn't know that Trent got injured, but he did. And we saw him do it, about 25 minutes into the game when he set up a try for Ronaldo or someone. And there was no one around him. And I thought it was his knee, but as I've said every day of my life on the show, I can't see that well. I thought it was his knee, but then people told me that was his ankle. Then he played on, though. He played on for probably, I don't know, a bunch of time.
Yeah.
Came back out second half, right?
Long enough to think like, oh, it's not too much of an issue. Like,
Yeah, but then he went off. So that's what happened, Gus. The 10, you'll be able to watch it on the replay. But at this stage, hopefully it's nothing too bad. How you going for time, Gary Dover?
I've got about 4 minutes in me.
4 minutes. Let's make the most of that. Josh, anything else you want to talk about? Or you want to hang out? What do you want to do? What are you doing with your afternoon? You want to hang out for a while? Let's talk Sharks.
I'm happy to hang out, mate. No, I've just got back over my sister's 40th last night, so I've just come back from
Congratulations.
Toowoomba, which is about 2 hours from Brizzy. So, no, I got a pretty free afternoon. I'm happy to talk Sharks.
Mawini Hiroti, really good game, solid game. Now, in the press conference from Fitzgibbon pre-game, he hinted that Jesse's finger was probably healing quicker than we thought. I don't know what that means as far as weeks and that kind of thing, but I've seen enough out of Mawini to know I'm not rushing back Jesse. Doesn't mean I'm not bringing him back, but I don't need to rush him back. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that at the moment. I didn't see, so the first half I probably missed the first 20 minutes today, which I saw bits and pieces of while we're still getting in the door. But
anything.
I don't know if they were talking up Best a lot early in the piece, so I don't know if Mawini had some troubles against him, but I think anyone can have some troubles against him, when he's on. But it wasn't a dominant performance like the last game. But last game he was probably man of the match. But it was still like an above average performance, I thought. Yeah, but no, I think Mawini's been he was great last game, but solid today as well. So, Jesse hasn't had his best season unfortunately so far. So I'd probably be, unless Jesse is 100% ready to go, I'm happy to roll on with Mawini.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Doc says, happy with that. 10-0 down. Newcastle, nothing to lose. A good, solid victory. And I quite like it when the Sharks are able to overcome a deficit. I quite like seeing them show a bit of conviction. And they did that today because I said earlier on the show, like, I thought one more try and we might be in some trouble. Not unwinnable, but some trouble. But 10-0, that was as bad as it got, I think. So, but still, to come back in the NRL against any team, 10-0 down, that's an effort, and I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they had their minds right. Sometimes when we go down a few points, we kind of switch off or start to do things out of our system, and it all kind of falls apart. But we got back into the game and got into our rhythm and started to put some points on the board, and it all came together off the back of that. So it was good to not kind of go into our shell or try to do too much. Like, we just stuck to what we needed to stick to, and we got through the game with a good victory, a bit more points than I thought we would have at the start of the game. Yeah,
you're right. If you told me at 10-0 down, I'm going to get the 40, I'd be pretty happy with that. So you got to get out of here, guys.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being had. We'll talk to you soon. And Shark Nation says goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Damn mic. See you guys. Take care. Thanks for everything, of course. Okay, so I'm going to mute that one down. Now, Josh. Yeah, that's all right. You broke my stuff. Don't worry. We have Corey, who's a regular listener to the show, says, "G'day, guys. Happy with the win. 60-minute performance. Proud of the bounce back. Bring on the doggies. The bench was outstanding." So again, with that bench, we had Sifa Talakai, tall Tom Hazelton, who was lights out, Braden Hamlin-Welly, and Hohepa Puru. So, yeah, pretty good bench. And were you happy with the bench, Josh, and how it was made up and what they did?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just. Do we know where's Oregon at the moment with his injury? Has anything been said?
I'm not completely sure. I was led to believe it wasn't going to be weeks and weeks and weeks. I think it's probably been 3 weeks at least, maybe. So I'm not sure. I'll chase that one up. I know he's rehabbing.
Yeah.
He's out there doing things. So
Because I thought. Sorry.
you're right.
Yeah, I thought he had a really solid leading up to that injury. I thought he had a really solid month. I was actually, a bit of a critic of his, but I thought he had a solid month before that injury. And going off today, I mean, be a bit of a hard luck story, but I'd probably just straight swap for Toby. I wouldn't want to mess with the bench at the moment.
Really.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with Toby since. I guess he was he out through injury. It's hard to keep up with all these players and weeks, but I've been impressed with Toby since he came back. I'm more of a Toby off the bench kind of guy.
Yeah, me too.
But I thought he was pretty good today. I thought he had some energy. I need to watch it back to fully analyze it, but yeah, it's going to be. I sort of said this in one of the shows during the week, Josh. It's going to be interesting when we have so many players fit and ready to go and able to be selected. Even a even a Tuku, who we saw the other week, score a great try, and he played pretty good. Like, he's up for contention. He was 18th man, I think. So, you're right. Someone's going to have to maybe miss out. I don't know if it'll be Toby. It could be. I understand you're saying you would maybe lean that way. I don't know if the coach is necessarily doing that.
I'm a bit like you. I like Toby off the bench. Toby's attack I really like. He just a little bit laterally through the middle, just in defence. I think he can get caught out a bit, which that's the part that makes me nervous about Toby sometimes.
Fair enough. Let's jump over to the Instagram. Hello to everyone on the Instagram. And Jay said, I thought Jesse was... Oh, we've read that one out. I apologize.
I just read Gut.
Yeah.
I just read Garsley's response, sorry, and he's got a good point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
He saved our hopes of a top 4 anyway.
I mean, I think that if and when we win the comp this year, a statue should be made up of that moment when he's tipping the ball away or whatever. But I don't know if it means guaranteed selection every week. But I do maintain that he's been going pretty good. On the Insta, Lynn said, can we please stop doing captain challenges in the first 3 minutes for the finals? I completely agree. I would be leaving them as late as we can and just back your defense, especially on a day like today when you're probably going to win. I know that it wasn't a guarantee, but yeah, I'm with you, Lynn. We should save those challenges. Crispy 1937 says, go Sharks. What else have we got? Andy says, Fitzy worries me. Can't get this team up mentally for the early start. We can't play like that in the first 20 of the finals. So, interesting point from Andy. I agree that we can't start like that against any of the finals teams. I'm with you there. Is it a Fitzy thing? Well, I guess he falls. It's under his blanket. He's the coach. I get it. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. They need to start a lot better. Whoever's responsibility that is, they need to start a lot better. Hello to our friend Jason Hawes. Our friend Jardian is watching all the way from London. So hello to Jardian. Hello to Kieran, who I did not see today. There's lots of great people on this live stream, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Kirk says, once again, the Porter toilets were amazing. Bit disappointed with Toby today. The bench was amazing. I think Siffer should get a start over Jesse. There's a lot to unpack from that, Kirk. So toilets were okay, especially the Portaloos. Awesome. Bit disappointed with Toby. Talk to me about Toby, Josh, because I must have been distracted or something. Why are people disappointed in Toby today? What happened?
A mate sent me a message about it too. He's been once again really unlucky with injuries, and he's been in and out of the team. I think this is why I like him off the bench. Just towards the end of a lot of his stints, he can get found out a lot fitness wise and get found out through the middle. That's my main thing
Sure.
with Toby. In attack,
Sure.
he has great impact and just doesn't stop working. But yeah, that's my main concern with Toby through the middle.
So just looking at some of his numbers, 9 runs for about 90 meters, 42 of those were post contact, which is not too bad. He broke 1 tackle. What else have I got for you? He made 27 tackles. It says here he missed 5. Not sure if that's going to be completely accurate by the time we're done with the stats and everything. I'm also not on the Fox Sports site, I have to admit, for a reason I won't go into. Nothing bad, but that's from NRL.com. So, I mean, he didn't sort of stand out to me. I'll say that today, but
No.
I didn't think he stood out negatively either. But I appreciate everyone saying that, and definitely have to watch it back. Kirk says the bench was amazing. Yep, we agree. And you think Sifa should start over Jesse? Let's unpack that one, Josh. I thought Jesse looked pretty good, but maybe I was just looking at his big runs and not looking at what a lock should be doing. I don't know, but I'm also a huge Sifa Talakai guy, huge. But I didn't really walk up the stairs of this grandstand and go, they have to make the switch. I would love Sifa to get more time. First of all, what did you make of Colquhoun, Josh?
Yeah, no, I thought Jesse was solid. I've been looking. You never wanted to be a bit off the back of an injury, but I've always been excited to see Jesse get a starting gig, and it seems like lock is his best fit. But yeah, I thought he was really solid for that first 30 minutes. Did a good job, and I don't know. I feel like it. I mean, it's a small sample size, but I feel like it can work nicely with Jesse doing that first 30 minutes and Sifa coming on off the back of all of that and having his impact. But yeah, I'm same as you. Look, the more minutes we can get into Sifa, the better. I'm just not sure where you find a starting role in that pack for him. I think his impact is best off the bench at the moment. Just maybe you can get him on a touch earlier. I'm not sure.
Well, we've already said that Billy Burns was close to the best in the field. We know that he will be replaced by Nikora in week 1 of the finals.
Yeah.
He may stay on the bench. I'm not sure. That bench is going to get pretty packed. So we'll see what happens with Billy Burns. Yeah. You're not changing Teague Wilton because he was, I thought, really great today, and he's great every week. So there's potential if you want to swap the lock around. That's the only spot really you'd put him at this point in time. That we were talking about prop for a while, but I think we've sort of solved that one. I also agree with you. Sifa needs more minutes. I did hear in the press conference that we put up online pre-game yesterday that the coach recognizes, like he verbally acknowledged how flexible and skillful and versatile Talakai is. So he appreciates that. And maybe in his mind, he's almost a second utility, if you want to call Hohepa a utility. Maybe he's not seen as a prop off the bench, but he could play there, obviously, if needed, or a middle, whatever you want to call it. So maybe that's why he's not playing big minutes, and they sort of get him out there when they need him, and then they know they can rely on him. The game obviously lifts, but yeah, he's such a weapon in running that it's surprising he doesn't get more minutes. I'll definitely side with everyone on that one. Ryan says Toby was great when in, but Fitz leaves him 5 minutes too long, and he becomes gassed in defense. It's a bench, so he wants him on the bench only. It's not a Toby issue. Oh, fair enough, Ryan. Thanks for that. Thanks for clarifying your thought on that. And I think we've all acknowledged that as well. And I would rather him be on the bench too, Toby. But as I said, it's getting to be a very big bench. Ghastly 10 says, why not run Sifa and Jesse to start? I don't know. I don't really know what that means, and also I don't know. But let us know your thoughts on that one. What do you think he means?
No, I mean, if he wants them to both start, I mean, assuming he means in the pack, but I couldn't leave out, as long as Britt's fit, I couldn't not have Britt and Teague as my edges. Teague.
I'll say this, Josh, about Britt. He's going to have to come back firing. Like he wasn't exactly firing when he left.
Yeah.
We know he's an amazing player, but he had a quiet sort of few weeks before he was suspended. And this other kid has come in, Billy Burns, and absolutely lit it up. So I feel like there'll be pressure on him internally within himself, not from within the squad, but I think he'll feel it. He'll know that he needs to. There'll be a bit of guilt there as well. I owe these guys, 3 weeks off, suspended, etc. So I'm not worried about that, but I do think that I think it's actually exciting that you should see a pretty fired up Britton Nickera.
Yeah. Yep, and I know maybe if he wasn't, he did have a quiet month leading into that, but maybe he was carrying something. Maybe that's given him some time to freshen up. The suspension, it's not how you want to do it, but I think that he can bring some real, like Teague can run a good line as well, but his defense on his edge is just unreal, and Britt's defense is good too, but he also gives us that X factor with those lines he runs, and that could be really important come finals time. Just another point of a difference in attack.
So every time we needed a lift in that opening to 2025, it was Teague Wilton coming out, shooting off his line and belting someone, and it lifted everyone. And for me, I know no one's suggesting it, but for me, Teague is an 80-minute player, and he's a starter, obviously being an 80-minute player. And that's where it gets a bit hazy with Siffer, because we all want him to play 80 minutes. He's brilliant, but it's just like, well, we kind of don't want him to play center anymore unless necessary. And we have two great back rowers. So it's an interesting one. Now just hang on, Josh. I'm going to bring in someone who's going to very much watch his language, because he's been drinking, I know this for a fact, since 7:30 this morning, maybe longer. His name is Lush. Hello, and Trish is there. Where are you guys?
We're down at Northies, brother. How are you?
You're already at Northies, hey? Look at that. I'm good. Sharks,
mate, we're at Northies at 10 o'clock this morning, bro.
And we got stuck in traffic.
You got stuck in traffic, so you had to stop at Northies?
Absolutely.
I think I've been in that traffic before, Trish. Say hello to Josh. This is Josh. Josh, these are our friends.
Josh. Hey, how are you, brother?
That's Trish. Lush, tell us about what you thought about the game.
Mate, I got to say, half-time I was a little bit worried, but we came good. Got to, my boy Lockie and I flew down from Melbourne this morning. We got to pop into the dressing rooms afterwards. Big shout out to Dino.
Hey, look at you.
Mate, the best CEO in the league here. Got to have a bit of a chat to Tricky. Hopefully, he looks like he's all right. But, mate, what a game. What a game. It's always good to put 40 on someone. Even better to put 40 on someone this close to the finals.
Yeah, I like it. Lush. How was your singing? You sang in tune?
My singing? Mate, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is basically shot to pieces at the moment.
Okay. Good. And let's hear from Trish. What did you make of the game, Trish?
Yeah, no, I thought it was all right. The first half worried me, but the second half was much better.
And who did you like
they
out
came
there?
out ready to play.
Who was your best on ground?
You probably think it's strange, but I think Big Tom.
That's not strange. Not at all. He was great. Terrific. Yeah. And tell me, Trish, is Lush behaving himself?
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Is he?
It's still early.
Mate, I got to say, the bartenders down here at Northies.
We were talking about that, weren't we, Lucia, out in the field, you and I, pre-game? We were talking about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was amazing. Like, I got to say, that was an experience I've never had before. And it was really cool. It was really cool to be that close to the boys. It was really cool to be within spitting distance of Cooper. Mr. Cronk there. Not going to say I spat, but, it was good to see him at arm's length.
Yes.
But no, man, it was such a good experience. Look, Lockie's my best mate. We've been planning to come up to Cronulla for the best part of 5 years now, and to come up with almost no notice, come up, do this trip, get on the field before the game, and then get in the sheds to watch the boys sing Up Cronulla. What an experience, man!
Yeah, it's something that not everyone gets to do, and I know you appreciate it. I can hear it in your voice, and congrats
massively.
to for you guys. And yeah, good on Dino for allowing two bums from Melbourne in there. I love it. Great stuff.
Yeah, mate. Dino's a legend. Couldn't be more supportive of him. But also, Fitzy, man, what a legend! What an absolute
Yep.
gun of a coach! What an absolute beast of a human being! Like one of the greatest blokes in rugby league, I reckon. Eh?
I agree. I'm pretty biased, but I agree. And I think he's doing a pretty good job. And he's got his detractors out there, and that's fine. We'll have our opinions. But as a person, absolutely, I'm with you. Like, he's a great person. And I think that goes a long way to his coaching.
Yeah,
and I think
massively.
the players actually feel it. The players buy in. The players play for him. You know, people may not agree with that. That's my opinion, though, that the players play for him. And yeah, I'm just super glad that you got to come up here, man.
Mate, it was really good to finally meet you in person too. You're a lot taller than I thought you would be.
That's what I thought about you too.
I thought you'd be about 3 foot tall, but you know.
Yes, we
No,
made
it's
that joke
good.
before.
It's
Yes.
good to meet you, mate. Good to meet you. Pretty stoked at the result. Ready for the finals. Let's bloody go. Up,
Let's go.
Cronulla.
Yep,
All
up,
right.
up.
Good one. Thanks for calling in, both of you. Love you both.
Have a
and
good
we'll
one,
talk to you
guys.
soon. All
See
right.
you-
Thanks,
see ya.
guys.
See
Bye.
ya.
Bye. That's our friends down at Northies lighting one up, which is a lot of fun. Josh, thanks for hanging around. Now, Ghastly10 says, Josh Hannay is another great guy. He left captain's run yesterday on his e-bike. He was great to talk to. Man, they all have the e-bikes. Let's talk about that, Josh. One Josh to another. Josh Hannay got the big gig at the Titans. What do you make of that? And who are you hoping, or what sort of person are you hoping to bring in?
I actually had this question in my head to ask you next, was what your thoughts are on this, the whole assistant
What's
coach
your
thing,
thoughts?
because yeah, obviously he's going to leave a big hole. Yeah, and I've not really sure who's next in line at the club there. It may be time for some fresh ideas on the assistant coach side of things. No doubt he's going to be a loss, and I hope he goes well at the Titans. I mean, it's not an easy place for coaches to succeed over the years. So hopefully he can change things there. But yeah, I'm a little bit excited to see what's next in the assistant coaching roles. I don't really have a name in my head, or I can think of who's next in line, maybe at the club itself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to, as you say, promote internally or not. My gut thought, or my initial thought, was they wouldn't. They'd look for someone else, but that could be completely out the window. They might promote a Holdsworth or someone else in the system and then bring in someone else. We'll wait and see on that one. But
yeah,
knowing Fitzy, it's going to be a meticulous search, and he'll do all his X's and O's on whoever he's going to get, and it'll be the right call. But yeah, it's an interesting world, the assistant coach world. Like, it's so important, and they really don't get much credit. Win, lose, or draw, they don't get much credit.
Yeah.
They do a really tough job, but a very important one. Not only just assisting the coach in everything he does, but a lot of them, and in particular our guys, they are hands-on with different parts of the team, and they have their different guys they deal with, and we've had a pretty good run. Steve Price, whatever you think of him as an NRL coach, he still was an NRL coach. He's done that. He's been a successful English coach. Josh Hannay has pretty much won Origin games for Queensland. Everyone talks about that. And I mean, Holdsworth, who probably gets no credit, he's been in the Shark system for a long time now, and he has a lot to do with the guys coming through, and he's a pretty good footy brain, and they all get along well with the coach, and they make a really great team, and there's certainly no ego. It's all for the team. It's quite impressive. There's no sort of backstabbing and that kind of stuff, or even any hint of that. There's no one really gunning for the jobs. They kind of know their role, and Hannay's played it perfectly. He's been great here, great at Origin level, and of course he was going to get a job somewhere, and hopefully for him it's a successful and long one. But it'd be interesting to see what happens. I don't think you'll have to wait too long to find out. I think it'll be a couple of weeks post-season, and then they'll make a call. They'll make an announcement. If they haven't made a decision already, they'll make an announcement. And Steve says, will Josh Hannay steal our up and coming players? I don't think so. I saw something in the press already about that. And I know that Craig said something at the presser about it as well. Like there's no, and everything I've just said in the last 5 minutes is he's not that kind of guy. Like he'd be very upfront about it. If he was looking at someone, he would say to Fitzgibbon, "Hey, I've got my eye on this guy. Just letting you know." Like I genuinely think, and I don't think it's naive. I think that it would be a conversation they have. Ghastly 10 is saying Josh Hannay won't take any players. He's already said that. I mean, he said that. It doesn't mean he won't, but I appreciate that. And Steve also says, I hope they go after Michael Checker, who I believe, was he the Wallabies coach? Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, Waratahs and Wallabies coach. Yeah.
Waratahs, yeah, okay.
And I think he coached one of the other international rugby teams as well. More recently,
Yes.
I can't remember who it was.
But
I
know
yeah,
he's been gunning
yeah,
for a league position.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with that, but I would only do it if he was the right guy. I personally, it doesn't bother me that he's come from rugby necessarily. If he's the right guy, he's the right guy. That wouldn't be a detraction. But I wouldn't be doing it just for the sake of, I'm not saying Steve is saying this, but just to go left field, just make the right call, and I think we'll all be happy.
He definitely had some success.
He has, yeah. I mean, that's my, I guess, in the back of my head, the reason I would talk to him is he's successful. He knows about success at a high level. And he obviously has a love for the game. So I don't think he should necessarily be held back because of where he came from, but it is a bit of an asterisk. Yeah. It's a bit of a, well, let's hear your thoughts on league. Ghastly 10 says, I want to see if Moylan is available for assistant coach, but not in attack. I think that's a joke, isn't it?
The other one that just popped into my head before, it's a bit left field, and I'm not sure exactly what he did, what his role was up at the Cowboys, but James Maloney, I'm not sure if he was someone who had, actual assistant coach aspirations. I don't know how involved he was up there and exactly what his role was, but that's one left field I wouldn't mind them looking into.
Yeah, so we did a show, I think, on Tuesday with Dan Nichols, and the next morning our friend Mark sent me a message saying, why didn't you mention James Maloney as a possibility? And I just kind of went, well, I replied with a reason why, but I think with Maloney, like, obviously he's an attacking genius. I get it. And I think that he has strong history at the club, always welcome. And I think there's a definite positive there, but I think the onus would be on him to prove that he could, and I'm not saying this lightheartedly, but to prove that he could take it seriously, do it serious for a year or two or three, however long the contract is, and really come to the party. And if he can, happy days. I think he'd be a great assistant coach. But I do worry, and this is Sam the fan talking. It's not the guy that hangs out here like a bad smell. I do worry they would clash with just how they are, because one is an absolute goofball attacking genius, and the other is a very serious coach, and it doesn't mean he can't have a laugh, because he can. I'm not trying to sell you something he's not, but he's also not in that same mold when it comes to not game time, when it comes to training, when it comes to all the serious stuff. He's serious about it. So I think that Maloney would just have to prove that he could do that. I'm certainly not saying he couldn't. I would love to see him here. I think the storyline would be amazing. I think he's a great mind for particularly attacking football. He's done it at a bunch of clubs. He's always brought success. The Cowboys, I think I'm correct in saying, played better under him. And unfortunately, his time came to an end there due to some of his own behavioral issues. But I would be open to talking to him. That's for sure. I would gauge where he's at and where his head's at, and is he interested? And I would open the conversation, but maybe he's more of a specialist coach, Josh. Maybe he's a once or twice a week come in, show the boys how to kick and pass. Maybe he's that guy. Maybe he's not.
Yeah.
X and O's 50 hour or however how many hours. I don't know. I'm making that up. It could be 60 for all I know. But maybe he's not the traditional assistant coach. But I like it. I don't mind it. Peter says, sorry, go ahead. We've got a bit of a lag. Go ahead.
I think that's kind of good for him too to assistant or specialist coach, because as long as he's not head coach, you're not worried about putting him up in press conferences 2 times a week.
Yes.
Because not sure how he'd handle those ones.
No, I think his strength would be a more
in the shadows.
In the shadows, but really, like when it comes to football, and like he's as good as. I'm not saying he was as good a player as Andrew Johns, but if you tell me that Johns or Cronk is your assistant coach, then you go Maloney's your assistant coach. There's not a lot of difference up here when it comes to knowledge and ways to get the players playing well. I think, especially if you give him a chance. But you know, it's always a bit risky when someone has left the club like they did, and you know we all make mistakes. I'm saying open the conversation, but I don't know if it will. Very long-winded answer. I don't know if it will. Peter says, I like that we were patient today. The Knights looked gassed after 15 to 20. We had to bide our time, and we did. It was good to see. Completely agree, Peter. I guess the big problem, though, is what happens in week 1 of the finals when teams just come out of a barrel and we don't. That's going to be a problem. So that's why we need to up the ante. Now, the fact we didn't do it today, I guess is a part of me hoping that we've left some petrol in the tank, and whether it's next week or whether it's week 1 of the finals, just come out with a lot of energy. I think the way that we're going to have success this year, Josh, in the finals is energy.
Yeah, I think our kryptonite is when the other team has really good line speed in defense. We really need to find a way to combat that, and we've got to bring our own in finals. Teague shows a lot of that. We just need the rest of the team to go with him in defense. But yeah, that's why I'm really looking forward to the challenge with the Bulldogs, because one of the things that they really do is speed. Their speed and their defense and their line speed. Just to see how we go against that next week.
Yeah, it's going to be so fascinating because are we saying that the Broncos Storm game is Thursday? Is that correct?
Yes.
So we'll know what we need to do by then, and it's going to be fascinating what the Dogs do, because I mean, I guess in theory you can rest 16 players. We saw one team do it already, but we're hearing more and more from listeners and from people around the traps that teams don't want to be resting in that week. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to jump over to the Instagram, Josh.
Yeah.
And Jay says, I think and apologies is a little bit behind. Jay says, I think the negative vibe on Rudolph is a little over the top. We got to remember that the first 10 minutes, the Knights had the ball mostly. Not a lot for the forwards to do. Our friend Barnesy from the Sharks has joined. Hello to everyone that's joined, by the way. Jay's got a question. Not sure if you know this, Josh. Who was the assistant coach in the 18 and 19 seasons? 2018, 2019.
Oh,
Sure, one of our smart listeners would know this.
Nah, can't even think who it was.
So that was 2018 was Flanagan, correct? And then 2019 Morris, is that right?
Yep, I think so. Well, Price wasn't still around then, was he? Before he went overseas, did he go pretty soon after the premiership?
I think so. Yeah,
As
I'm
assistant?
sure someone will write in. I'm sure someone will let us know. Jay says, would the club go after Adam O'Brien since they were together in 2019 at the Roosters? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think that they would leap out to him. What would you go for him, Josh? Would you go for Adam O'Brien?
From a distance, no, probably no. I haven't really. I think he's tread a pretty thin line at the Knights for a few years now about staying on board as coach. I haven't really. Yeah, the only time the Knights popped out of the box was for last 8 or 9 weeks, a couple of seasons ago, and Ponga just went on a heater for 2 to 3 months, and they were just on the back of that. And I feel like that's really the only time they've been a threat for the 4 or 5 years he's been there. I think it is. So he's probably not someone I'd be going for.
Yeah, I mean, even just body language, and I think he's already declared he'd be happy to do a job in the shadows, but looking at him even today, he just looks so over it, and can't blame the guy. He's been through it all, and it's his time. So, not sure if he'll rush back into it next year or not. He might. I personally don't think that he's for us next year, but I think someone will. I don't think he's like a disliked figure in the behind the scenes kind of world, and maybe he just needs a chance. I mean, we've seen Jason Demetrio take some time off, and I think he might be a rep coach now at some level, and he's doing a lot of media work. And we saw Bomber Morris go to the Tigers, and he was at South as well as assistant coach. So these guys definitely have a life after NRL coaching. But there's something about Adam O'Brien. I wish him all the best in all sincerity, but there's something about him at the moment where he just looks like you just give him a year off. He's going to get a good payout, and maybe just needs to freshen up. But Ghastly10 said Toby asked James Maloney on his podcast, and James said he only wants part-time, and he's not sure if he was joking or not, but that was the response. So he also says he'd go after Sean. Yeah, he also says he'd go after Sean Johnson, given the history here with he says he'd be the first person he'd talk to. He's been with everyone but Nico, so he knows the system pretty well. Sean says, very shaky start, but we never look worried. Good to see the boys wait it out, then turn up. Can't play like that against the top teams. It will be gone in straight sets. Yeah, completely agree, Sean. And the challenge is how to do that. It's very well for you to put it in black and white and me to say it on air, but they need to act that way, and they need to be able to flick the switch. And I've said over the years during the show, it's hard to flick that switch when it comes to finals form. But this is a bit different because now, Josh, we are 6 of 7 games in the win column. So we're not playing bad, but we started bad. Like, we can say that. We started bad for 15 minutes, and that's not going to fly. If you're down in Canberra and you start bad and give them all that ball and you can't defend it, then you might be down 16-0 against Canberra, and that's going to be hard to come back against given everything that's going on in week 1 of the finals in Canberra. And you can insert most teams there, but hopefully they can just hopefully they can rise, and hopefully they know that. I'm sure they know that as professional athletes. And just flicking over to the Instagram. Jay said, do we see if Chad Townsend wants to come into coaching? So I don't think that's realistic for the Sharks and this team, given that he kind of left this team or took up a better offer, because I think that Fitzy was the one that kind of went, there's a contract there, but there's probably a contract elsewhere, and he took the one that was elsewhere, and that's fair enough. Like, it was the only one he could do. I'm not saying there's any negative blood there at all, but I don't know if Chad would rush back to be assistant coach of the Sharks. Having said that, I think he'd make a good one, and I think there is a future for him as a coach in some capacity, just because he's a student of the game. He's done it all, and I know that he's not everyone's cup of tea when it comes to being a player, but as it doesn't mean that you have to be the best player to be the best coach. And I actually think that, you've seen his media stuff this year, Josh. This guy lives and breathes footy. Like, he's playing Reggie's. I think today was his last game, maybe for the Roosters. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he lives and breathes this game, and he's up to date with everything. And he's got opinions, and it's not the worst shout. I don't think he's for us, but it's not the worst shout, Chad Townsend.
No, he's probably someone I'd like to. I wouldn't pick him up straight off the back of his career, but I'd like to see if he went somewhere else and sort of proved himself in that field. Might be something we'll look at down the track, but not for a replacement right at this time. I wouldn't think.
No, and I mean, I think within a year or two, Mick Ennis will be coach of Manly. That's just, again, my opinion. There's nothing based on that, but Mick might look to his 2016 phone book and say, "Hey, who's available? Chad's available." He might be a good assistant coach. Like, I think there's people out there that will take him on, but I just don't know if it would be here so soon. But stranger things have definitely happened. You never say never in this crazy game. Josh, what are you looking forward to in the coming weeks? What do you see happening? How do you think we're going to go? What's your vibe? Are you good? Are you upbeat? You seem pretty upbeat about it all.
I'm pretty upbeat. I do flip-flop a lot with how I feel about this team sometimes. They have a nasty habit of making me believe for a while, then they give me a little reason to doubt myself. But I really do think we can take to the Dogs this Saturday night. And I'm looking forward to something to be genuinely on the line, like that top 4 spot, and seeing how we respond and how we come out against a team like that. And if we can come out and actually start with a really good solid 20 minutes against the Dogs and try and set our own tempo. So I'm actually probably not trying to look too far ahead, as the old cliche goes, but that game I'm really looking forward to. And then see what the finals brings. Just happy to be in the finals again, but looking to go just that little bit further than last year. I would really love that.
And remind me, if there's nothing to play for nothing to play for as far as the ladder goes, are you resting Sharks players or not?
No, not with having to buy so recently. Maybe, obviously, if Tricky's ankle is 80% good enough, if something's on the line, then maybe you still put him out there. But if it's off the table and it's either 5th or 6th for us, there's probably not much of a difference between 5th and 6th, to be honest, because we could play Penrith or the Roosters. So I'd probably, but I still wouldn't be resting anyone else unless there was an actual injury concern. We need momentum heading into the finals, I think.
Gotcha. Good answer. All right. So Sharkies win 40 points to 16. A big, big win for them. Jay asked, what about Jim Dimmick, who was at the club in the past? I'm not sure where Jimmy is right now, but I mean, he's got a good rep. I'd certainly be talking to people. I'm open to talking to people. Doesn't scream at me as a guy that you need to have next year for us, but I've got no problem with it. CJ says they like the centre pairing of KL and Hiroti, and they would even keep that when Jesse Ramian was fit. So that's a very interesting statement, and one that others probably agree with. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think Jesse will come back when he's ready, and I don't have a problem with that. But I definitely need him to lift on what he was doing, and I need him to get to those levels that Hiroti brings, because Hiroti is very involved, which, to be fair, Jesse is too. He doesn't sort of hide away in the game, but we need prime Jesse. We need, I guess you'd say, last year Jesse. So we'll see what happens there. Ghastly 10, who's been awesome with his comments, appreciate it, says, hypothetical, get to the prelim against Melbourne. Would we sit Katoa out to have 2 tall wingers on Coates and Warbrick? Ooh, I'm saying no, but I'm also saying it is a worry. I think it's a worry no matter who you put there, to be honest. I don't know if half a foot's going to make a difference with this Coates fella. Like, he's just unbelievable. And I don't think that would be a thing. It's not. If it was like NFL and you can get him on and off the field, then yeah, but Josh, you got any opinion on that one?
It's a tough hypothetical if you're throwing, I guess, Stone Street fresh into a prelim, just for matchup sake. I mean, I get it, I understand it. We get killed by the high ball.
Yeah.
We haven't had it. We don't have a good record under that high ball, and
Yep.
that's part of it. But just the thought of throwing someone fresh into a prelim, I know, tough one.
I think it's something that just every team's going to have to face when they play this mob. But like, he's just a freak,
Yeah.
and to a lesser extent, Tupou does it against for the Roosters against
Yeah.
everyone. But
Yeah.
I think as opposed to changing your wingers, you want to just spend the week on that. You know, that a large part of your training, or a chunk of your training, someone's kicking the corners specifically for him and the center, and I guess the half. And there's some way of building a wall legally, like just practice it every time and have a plan and stick to it. And then you just sort of do your best. I mean, the ultimate aim would be to keep them out of the 20, and then keep them back. I'd be more opposed to saying, hey, make sure the defense is good, and then don't let them get near that zone. And then it comes out, the attacking thing comes out. It's not a worry. So how realistic that is, I'm not sure. But it's a great question, great hypothetical. It's a worrying hypothetical, but it's a great one. That is for sure. We're going to start wrapping up, Josh. Appreciate you hanging around. It's been a lot of fun talking to you, as always, about Sharks football. We won the game 40-16. I have no idea where we are on the ladder, but if I click a button, I can probably find out. We are currently in fifth place. Yep. So that is how we will stay. And then we will sweat on the Storm Broncos game, which, if I remember, Josh, I don't know if you're in the demographic to remember this, but was it 2008? And funny things happened with Melbourne that year. And one of them was they lost to the Warriors. And we got the week off. And the other thing was, was that the year they beat Melbourne on the bell? Beat Brisbane on the bell?
Yeah, I was at that game. I remember it.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the Sims brothers. Dropped it 5 out straight in front of the post, and then a few plays later, Melbourne went over in the corner.
Yeah, and so then we played them.
One.
We played them rather than Brisbane. Is that the deal?
Yep, and then we lost 28-0, I think it was, or something around that.
Thank you, Josh. No, that was perfectly surmised.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing us all back to that. My point is, crazy thing happens when Brisbane and Melbourne play, and the Sharks are related to it. So maybe there'll be something in the water. Maybe there's something to hang on to there. But it's going to be interesting Thursday night. Team list Tuesday is going to be a mad one, and then from that, you'll be watching that team list 24 hours before and then an hour before, and we'll see what happens. We are going all out for the Storm, though. But of course, we also need to win after that, Josh, which is an extra burden, right? An extra map burden for you. So let's do one thing at a time. We'll worry about that game and worry about the next one. Kirk says, before we go, Josh, Kirk says, not fashionable tactic, but why don't they charge down the ball before it gets to the wingers? Yeah, I mean, you can try that. That's for sure. And Ghastly has another one saying, who wins, the Warriors or Manly? Oh, no, DC. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the Warriors, and this will come back to bite me. But I think Manly, DC's last game at Brookie, they're going to win that one. I just have that feeling. I think the Warriors, they lost Metcalf, and things haven't been the same. They've been valiant in their efforts, but the Eels got them on Friday, and so I've left that out. But I'm not that worried about that one. So I think if we win, though, it doesn't matter anyway. So that's what's going on. It's all going on. I'm going to let you go, Josh. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Sam.
Pleasure. Have a great great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Hopefully see you in the first week of the finals, maybe at Shark Park.
I would like that very much. Just be careful of the rain and the portaloos and wear your gumboots and you'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Will do.
Thanks, Josh. Talk to you soon.
All right. See ya.
See you. All right. Wrapping up here on the SharkCast. NS says, thought Brayley kept a good account of himself with a captain next to his name, both on and off the field with the media. Appreciate you, Shinazzi, up. Well, thank you very much, NS. I appreciate you too, and appreciate everyone who's tuned in. It's been a fun one again, as always. A lot of great comments, a lot of great calls. And you're right, Brayley was, I think he's terrific. You guys and girls know him. He's one of his biggest fans. And I think Brayley, I know for a fact he's going to sign, so don't worry about that. He's going to sign, and he's got a big couple of weeks coming up with the Sharks. Steve is a good man, and he's interested in my rock and roll. If you don't know, I play music. I've played music all my life, singer-songwriter kind of stuff. And I do have a long-awaited album coming out, hopefully November, Steve. Stay tuned. I should know more in the next week. It's mastered. It's kind of ready to go, just working out all the business stuff. So hopefully I'm thinking November, but it's a wait and see. But I'll let you know, Steve. Appreciate you very much. Sharks win 40-16, I think it was. I've lost all my pages. And just over here. All right, we're going to get going. Let you all go have some dinner. I'll go have some dinner. And more SharkCast pod coming this week. The penultimate. No, I don't know what I'm saying. High on Pepsi Max. I've always wanted to use the word penultimate, but I think I've left it too late. That's ironic. Sharks win as I make a fool of myself on international TV. More SharkCast coming throughout the week. You know it, so stick around. Subscribe if you can. It does us a favor, and you get to hear and see things straight away. So whether it's on Spotify, Apple, whatever podcast app you listen to us on, hit subscribe, follow, like, whatever the wording is. It's free. It'll take you 1 second, then it helps us out with like algorithms and that kind of crazy stuff. The other thing you can do is on the YouTube. If you're a YouTube fan only, if you're not, no worries. But if you are, hit subscribe on there. It's a free thing, and you just get notifications. Nothing annoying, but we're going live. We are live, new episode. You basically get to find out when we're doing stuff. We're on all of the social medias. If you like social media, or if you're like me, you don't like it, but you're on it, please help us out and subscribe, like, share. That's kind of the end of my spiel. Up Cronulla. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate everyone here for looking after me. And we'll be back with more Sharks content before you know it. And I'm going to play the song because guess what? We won and we are awesome. And yes, Ghastly, you get the last comment because you've been so great today. You will see me next week. You can count on it. Let's play the song. I want to hear you all sing along. Sharks win against the Knights. Pretty good day for the Sharks. NRLW as well. We do our own podcast with the NRLW side of things. So interviews is the main thing, but we also do some analysis and some news and that kind of stuff. So make sure you follow all that. But today, a great win for the NRLW team. Like, just fantastic. Great to be here for it. So all round for the two clubs, and also Flag won. Our man, Rolly Pollard. Don't know if he's still watching, but he was watching before. And we will get all of that throughout the week. Can't wait for it. Let's play the song.
Sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football, for the Sharks are here. Sharks forever.